covered the floor in an epoxy paint that they use in garages.
Yeah.
Because the dogs in the wheelchair, we really wanted it like to be able to be clean, quick, and easy. So like ripped out all the carpet siding and then just caulked it.
Hello.
And then redid the floors
What's up,
that way.
dog?
And then this is the rope system that Lynn's uses. And I did clove hitches so they're adjustable all the time. And I can disconnect these two when the bed comes down. But for her, it's great because she can grab a hold of it. And you know, she's quite a bit taller than I am, so she's able to walk like this and get herself to the kitchen or the chairs or the bed without me needing to do anything, right? So,
awesome.
Kind of cool.
That's great.
Yeah, we ripped out the wall in here. We built this sink.
Yeah.
So this was we had a leaky sink, so I'm waiting on that in the mail right now. And that the under there was that horrible leak, man.
Okay.
It was such a mess. I'm crawling under there. If you want to look, you don't have to crawl down, but I got a really nice air mattress.
Yeah.
And then that's her sit thing, so she can sit upright. And again, for her,
same thing with the rope.
yeah, she's able to come in here and she actually can get her feet up and really like get herself in. And she uses, we have a bed frame that we built out of galvanized pipe. So we cut and threaded it all. So we have a frame with gymnastics rings at the house so she can adjust in bed. And then I made it here, again, and it distributes the weight evenly because I don't know if this could hold one person's weight.
Yeah.
But when you pull on it, it shares the weight across the whole system. So it's dynamic and it spreads the weight out. And then again, each clove hitch is adjustable and removable. So if it's like it stretches over time, I'll be able to tighten it or loosen it as needed, right?
Yeah.
So, and then we did, we ripped an old piano apart from like the 1800s. And I used a lot of the hardware from just inside.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
To just make the like we tried to use and recycle shit at the house.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Stuff at the house. Yeah, beep. So
That's
that
awesome.
yeah, like this is just old piano stuff. I had to shave, you know, a little bit to make it flush. But we had these army surplus blankets.
Yeah.
We wanted it to look like a cabin.
Yeah.
So we had the curtains made by a friend in town in Parkdale and the bed too. And so she sewed them together so that all this is supposed to look like a cabin.
That's fantastic.
They're nice
Yeah, with the
blackout.
paneling, I like it.
Yeah, and they black out. You know, I'm obviously an amateur, but it's sealed.
Hey.
And I did a good job with really technical hard cuts. You know, huge panels around windows.
It looks wonderful.
So for like a one cut, you know, that's a really complicated one around the window. So I was actually quite happy. I didn't have any major blunders and waste any sheets.
Awesome.
And you know, it gets real dark in here when you put these in, which is cool.
Great.
I had to seal some stuff on the roof. I forgot to winterize and that collapsed.
Uh-oh.
So I had to put a new one on.
Yeah.
Oh, the dome.
Yeah, and we've got like, you know, this, I don't know if we'll ever use this, but we just are, this is our
a lot of people
inflatable kayak.
use it for storage.
Wow. So I got a really nice inflatable kayak and I'll have the motorcycle off the back if I ever need to go get help. You know, like if we break down somewhere, we've got I think they're called commodes, but for Lindsay to sit taking a shower, or if she needs to take a shower in here, sometimes there's bladder issues or bowel issues with spinal injuries. So if she has a mess, which can happen, she'll be able to get in here and shower off sitting on that. Or if we're at a state park and the handicapped stall's being used, we can join a regular stall and I can just carry that in with her.
Awesome.
So, you know, we built this sink so that it was more sturdy for Lynn so she can push off.
Lean on it.
On top of that, she felt like we don't need any other bar supports.
Yeah, along the side.
Yeah, and then one other modification, minor, was right here. So she's used to climb, you know, rock climb and mountain bike.
Down,
So I did the figure eights, which are kind of symbolic of climbing. And she has a tattoo of one, you know, that she got after her accident, just to...
Was it a rock climbing accident?
Nope. She rolled a truck, just driving in normal weather, checking directions on a phone like we all do. Yep, just hit a massive pothole going 70 and flipped 7 times. And she burst fractured 2, like C's 5 and 6 or 6 and 7. She was a complete quad for 2 months.
Wow.
And should have died and somehow has had this miraculous recovery. She's speaking at an event in Portland Tuesday, actually.
Amazing.
That's fantastic.
Anyway, so she's able to, I reinforced this, I beefed it up a bit, and, you know, rebuilt that so that when it's closed, this is beefier so that it's an actual handrail for her. So she's able to use this, and it's got different heights, and then get to here, and she can get in and out. You know, I'm kind of modeling how it looks for her. So she's able to, you know, she's got enough handholds.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and we'll put her
That's
wheelchair
great,
will probably
yep.
store, you know, in this area. And then I took one arm off that, so those two fit. I had to
Yeah.
rip the couch out though. With the wheelchair potentially being used in here, like if we're at a site for 10 days, we'll probably put those under the canopy. Right? Why not? They're comfortable, and then she could actually roll around in here, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the grand tour.
That's
It's
awesome.
not really that
is
much
great.
to it, but
Oh, there's a lot to it.
yeah.
You did a lot
Yeah,
of
you
work
did a
on
lot
this
of
thing.
work.
Yeah, I mean, we renovate a lot. I sure
And
learned
it's a
lot.
wonderful way to show that, you know, because people are always trying to talk about their limitations. Oh, I just can't, you know, coming up with excuses. You know, I would love to do that, but I can't.
Her whole
I
family. I met her after the accident and was immediately inspired by their. They took what you might call your life's work, and they might as well enjoy it and make it awesome. So they just, you know, we sit ski, and I'd learned how to tenkara fish, so there's no reel. So you telescope it out, and we go fishing and canoeing, and she's trying to she got a sit ski, and we're working on getting a powerized mountain bike. So that's what her speech actually in Portland is about, is needs versus desires, and she's going to talk about how there's a genuine need for a lot of people to be in nature and connected to it.
Wow.
And for, you know, she was a 27-year-old bombshell blonde, you know, almost 6 foot, finishing anesthetist school.
Better
Hey,
get back in here, sweetheart.
Anyway, you know, she was living pretty high, and she was just about to graduate, and so, you know, her whole life was stripped from her. And our ability to kind of get out and enjoy nature and live in Parkdale and all that has been really, we think, pivotal for her recovery.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think about aging couples, and there's ways to like make it so one, because for me it was I'm always out in the mountains anyway. I really just did this to find a way to include her instead of me always going off separate and then coming home.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
So that was the
Hi, baby.
goal here, and we bought the Parkdale ambulance, and that's my Sprinter van.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
Yeah, way cheaper.
Very
It's like
cool.
a tenth the cost of a Sprinter van, and it's a diesel with 4-wheel drive and ABS and temperature control and safe, and you can buckle up people in the back with a wheelchair and sit ski.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because when people visit, you can't. As soon as you put the wheelchair and sit ski, any vehicle's full, even a Suburban.
Yeah.
Like you just can't fit that stuff. So the ambulance is my next project of trying to, you know.
That's wonderful.
I love your dog sign.
I do
Isn't
too.
that funny? A friend,
I
an
do
aunt
too.
or somebody made it for us. We don't even remember who. But yeah, I found this.
treats
This
in
is just another piece of the piano. So a lot of this stuff was just ripped out of the piano, and you know, just kind of.
That's amazing what you've done.
Had some fun with that. We're real excited to do the trip. We're leaving the just married, even though it was last summer. This is actually our honeymoon because we haven't.
There you go.
Like we got
Happy
this, and we never
anniversary
did a
coming
honeymoon,
up.
so we
Yeah.
There you
we're
go.
gonna pretend we just got married. Who's farting? Dogs? Is that you? All right, let's go dump. I gotta learn how. Hey,
Yeah.
get
You
in here.
stay up
You
here,
stay, baby.
Boy, what a good boy.
All right.
All right, what a good boy. Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
The very first thing you need, you got gloves. I got blue gloves, so it doesn't matter as long as it's gloves.
Okay, yeah, use those. I'll probably bring that. I'm glad you showed me that. I'll add that to my kit.
But we just bought how many? 120 in a box or something like that, and throw it down in the bin.
No, that's great. We've got a million at the house anyway, and I teach science. I'll steal them out of my lab room.
That way they're.
We'll cut that part out of the video.
No, I mean, we'll get them from the house. I got one of these pressure regulators. Somebody told me
Yes,
that.
you need it.
Yeah, okay.
You'll always need to hook up with it.
I was told that. So, you know, this is. I've never used it. Don't know how to do it.
That'll work.
And then this.
So you just twist it on,
Okay.
lock it. It's locked.
I'm gonna grab my gloves and go through it. It's better to learn through do. So let me get. Yeah, that's pretty obvious.
It's pretty easy, pretty simple.
Yeah, it clicks right
That's
in.
it.
Okay.
That's really all there is to it.
Okay.
Then that end, what you do,
Appears to be in pretty good shape, huh?
yeah, it looks like a brand new hose. And then just shove that down in there.
Yep.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. So you
Pipe.
think the bigger one's going to be the gray?
Yeah. No, black.
Okay, because sewage says there's no clogging,
Yeah.
essentially. Okay.
Yeah. So
That
what
makes
you do
sense.
then, just pull it out.
And tell them why you do the black
Just
first.
straight out?
You always do the black first.
And then the cleaner water rinses
And then
pushes through? Is that why?
Your gray water will flush this.
That makes sense. Okay. It had some goop.
And
No telling how bad it was. I've never had an odor coming out of this yet, but there was a lot in there.
yeah.
Even gray tanks like your kitchen tank.
It's going to be real full.
It will smell also.
I've heard
Yeah.
that. These
Yeah.
this vent's only, I think, one spot, and it's at the top, which is nice.
Yeah.
There's no vent. I was told to look for the vents under the sinks,
Yeah.
and they're not there, so you can see it goes up. I do minimalist mountaineering and backpacking, so I'm going to admit this is a little grosser than digging a hole and pooping in it.
This isn't that bad, really.
Tip a rock and take a poop. Okay. I do. Tip a rock, take a poop, cover it back up. That's how instead of digging a hole, it's too much work.
Lock it in and then pull your gray.
Man, that leg is getting good use. This is exactly what I need. It's no fun to watch. He's not good. I mean, he's so
Gotta
strong.
be a sweet puppy.
He's such a good athlete that it usually doesn't favor the other dog. It's not, he'll break skin and beat the hell out of
You
him.
need a leash.
It's not good.
They're all very curious.
Yeah, go ahead and stop it. Thanks.
Alright, it's off.
Yeah, so I'll just keep some, I've got the sanitation wipes right here.
Let me unscrew this side and drain the hose.
Huh?
Let me unscrew this and drain the hose.
Oh, okay, and I'll lift it up too. So I learned I gotta turn my water pump. I'm gonna have to kind of flush it a little bit too.
Oh, don't let it come back on you. Get it out.
I'm not that squeamish. It's gonna.
Well, that's true. It's been in the toilet.
Yeah, it's been there for 2-3 years, to be honest with you. I bet even the bacteria might be anoxic at this point. Hang on, I'll give this a.
It's true. You are a scientist, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But yeah, this will do a good job. And we keep these all the time. Lindsay needs them when she uses the restroom. So it's just kind of become a habit to have these nearby. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. Probably shouldn't throw it on the bed, huh? At least not in front of the wife. All right.
There you go. You got your good puppy dogs.
Good dog. Cool. Thanks, guys. This was
I mean, that's it.
as easy as I kind of expected it to be.
It is
It
pretty
is.
easy.
It's a
And
lot
it's not
easier.
that disgusting.
It's a lot easier than a lot of people make it out to be.
Well, I don't know if anybody's ever made it out to be bad. This, they can't make it too complicated, right? Your average Joe is camping all the time. So I figure it can't be. I can show you guys this on the other side if you want to see it. So there's a big grill in here that has like 3 or 4 burners.
Oh, wow.
And I went ahead and spliced into the
Yes,
gas line
for the
coming off the fridge.
Yes.
And so I'm able to screw this right into the line right off the fridge.
Put like a T in it or
Yeah,
something.
put a T in with a shark bite.
Yeah.
And sure enough, we tried, grilled the other night. So yeah, I've got my, basically like once we pull in campground,
Yeah.
I've got my grills and chairs here.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, I'll show you, we've got a beefy utility closet for, our standard's pretty high living in the mountains here.
Yeah.
So we took the model from Mountain Travel, right? So that's for my motorcycle. This is yet to be filled. Got a huge saw if I ever get down a road and can't
Yep.
get out. 2 size axes, bunch of wood, really super durable. Come along, a couple tire stops, and then there's a whole bag full of straps that are meant for picking up helicopters. And like we got them from an Army Navy surplus store, and then back there, and then just 2 really full toolkits.
Wow.
So we've got, we're ready to be durable if we need to be here.
Yeah.
Is that a fire stoker right there? Your little-
Yeah, just a little thing to blow, right? So yeah, we're ready for Armageddon or zombie apocalypse.
There you go.
Let's talk about that. That's about it.
Looks pretty good, man. It's
Do
in
you
great
have-
shape. You've done an incredible job inside.
Do you have leveling blocks?
Huh?
Do you have leveling
It
blocks?
has this jack system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So automatic levelers.
Yeah. And that's, you know, it works. They go down well. They don't fully retract anymore. But, you know, I think a lot of places are going to be level as it is. Or are they not? Well, I don't know. And I don't know if I care how level it is. I don't know. I haven't done this yet.
Is your refrigerator working in working order?
It needs to be level for that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's about it, guys.
Well, thank you so much, Mike, for giving us a tour of your awesomely renovated RV.
Yeah, I really appreciate you
Do you
guys.
feel all educated now in poop?
Yeah, that was super easy.
Your poop education?
Everybody poops.
Everybody poops.
So yeah, that was the easiest thing I've done out of all the work on this. So yeah, I got no problem with that. So,
Awesome. Well, thank you again for letting us see inside and meet you and
your puppies.
yeah, they're good dogs. Minus
he's fine.
the aggressive side of me. They're really good dogs. We're bringing them on the trip against the advice of Lindsay's parents. They do not want us taking the dogs.
Why?
Just because there's a liability with Diesel. If I don't keep him on, like I can't let him do what he just did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna be, you know, I'm getting a little strict, but I've got to be dialed in on that.
Yeah.
Like he needs to be leashed.
Yeah.
Big time, because I do not want to hurt some.
And a lot of places that you go require that too. So.
Yeah, and I don't want to be that, because it's never a dog's fault. It's always a bad owner when there's a problem.
Can you say that again?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to use that clip over and over and over again.
There's no such thing as a bad dog.
That's
Exactly.
what I say. Yes,
So,
that's what I say.
My responsibility. We make them live in an unnatural environment. All right, guys.
All right,
Thank you so much.
Yeah, cheers to whoever wants to watch this. I'm not sure what you're doing with your free time.